Hello, welcome to Gigi Talks. This will be a podcast about life experiences, struggles. There are so many of those, and really just about life and what surrounds our day to day. It certainly is a complex situation, but I think that this would be good. And I think for me too, because I have tried to look up different things on YouTube or social media and can't seem to find the right things for me. And who knows, maybe this will reach people that have the same experiences that I have or that share the same frustrations, maybe in different capacities, but all the same, right? So we'll begin with our first episode, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can share and comment whether you enjoyed or whether you liked this first episode and what other topics you would like me to talk about, whether they resonate with me or whether I've had the same experiences. And please keep the conversation open so that everybody can sort of have somebody to talk to. Anyway, I suspect this will be a quick, very quick first upload or first episode because it's my first time doing this on this platform. So let's get started. So I thought about starting the conversation regarding my line of work. I think it's very important to begin with this because, as I said before, I've struggled to look or find for something similar. So I'll give some background. I am now, as of today, June 12th, I am a 2-year-old attorney in the state of New York. So I have been practicing for 2 years and it has been quite challenging. And I work representing vulnerable people. I don't want to give so much away because, of course, that is a private sort of thing. There are ethical rules. I mean, I will not be discussing any cases, of course. That's not what this is going to be about. This is going to be about, I guess, my frustrations or my experiences with being a new attorney. So, if you hear a dog snoring, please excuse my dog. She is sleeping very close to where I'm sitting. Anyway, so as I said, I am a new attorney, and getting here has been a very difficult road for me, especially in comparison to many other people or many of my colleagues who I've seen not necessarily have an easier experience, but certainly perhaps a better path than I have. So I went to law school after having had a break in between my undergrad and law school. And it was hard for me to get back into school and adjust to that student life again. And it kind of seemed like I was behind. And you can feel that way when you are surrounded by other people who immediately got into law school and right after undergrad, and they are just continuing. And this is something that they've always wanted to do. I didn't necessarily want to do that my entire life. I think I became into the, or I realized that I wanted to go to law school and become a lawyer during my last year of as a senior in college. And I did try to apply for law school, and that did not work out for me. I didn't really think that law school was going to be for me. It seemed so hard because I do not consider myself to be a smart person. And maybe that's something I have to discuss in therapy. But it can feel that way. So when law school happened, it was, I'm not going to lie, it was a horrible experience for me. I had a professor tell me, maybe take a year off or maybe reconsider uh, being in law school, and straightforward telling me that, and directly telling me that I didn't know what I was doing. So that can do a lot to your mental health, of course, because you don't want to hear something like that about you, about what you're capable of doing and what you can provide to this profession. And you know what? I talked to multiple people about this particular incident, and of course, the school didn't do anything about it. I'm not surprised there, but I did bring it up to the school. Nothing happened. This professor had tenure. He was not going to be held responsible for the way he treated me. And it was interesting because after that happened, I recalled him wanting to set up a meeting with me, to meet with me, since he was my advisor. And I did not respond to his email. And he emailed me once again to say, is there a reason why you're not responding to me? Well, I blocked his email. And maybe that is a petty thing to do, but I wasn't going to give my energy to people like that. And I will say, whoever is listening, if anybody is listening, and you are interested in law school and having that experience, or you find yourself in a different type of program and you experience a similar thing, I would say don't listen to that. You go on your path. These people add absolutely nothing to your life. And it is okay to set up a boundary because it will get to you if you continue to give the time and energy to these people. And definitely talk to people about this. Do not keep it to yourself. So, anyway, I finished law school. I took the bar exam right after graduating, which everybody does. Did not pass it. That's fine. I beat myself up for it so many times, but I had a plan. I was going to retake it at the next schedule test, and I set things up so that I can study all over again. And things just went
to shit. Um, I don't think I'm supposed to say that, so I will try to find a way to bleep it. So, anyway, when I say things went sideways, it's more so related to family matters, sickness in the family with a particular person who was very important to me, and that was very hard trying to focus on studying for the bar exam and also dealing with all of my emotions of having a sick relative, a very important person, and also with those lingering feelings about you didn't pass the bar exam the first time like everybody else did, or like most people did, and so you're not good enough, right? There's always the imposter syndrome somewhere hiding, waiting to come out. And it came out a lot during law school, it came out a lot during bar preparations. So, anyway, I took it again, had a panic attack one of the nights, um, I believe closer to the date when I was supposed to get my test results. And that was a very concerning night because I never felt like that before. And it was very, very hard to deal with. But got through it. I have my husband who helped me get through it. So I will say it's very important to have somebody that you can rely on, that can provide support for you in these types of situations. And so that is when I realized, you know what, this really can't be how I should be feeling. And that was the only panic attack I had, I think, in my life. So anyway, I found out later on I passed, and I was very happy. Cried a lot. Um, was very excited. Got admitted. I started my job right. I think a month before I was admitted to practice in New York State. So that was a fun day, but I didn't realize how hard it was going to be. The first 2 years of my career as a practicing attorney have been very challenging for many reasons. One of them being trying to balance work and life. And I think my job, or at least at my place of employment, I think we have a good sense of work-life balance, which is great. I appreciate that. And that is certainly something that people should look into, and that all companies really should give their employees. So I really don't have an issue with that. It is so the legal profession is very, very interesting to say the least. It is certainly something that I sort of was expecting. And I was not expecting much from this profession. But, I'm in it now. I've met some great people and I'm grateful for them. But I've also met some people that in this profession that are not great, or that were not great to me. And that stuck with me, of course. But right now, I've completed 2 years of practicing as an attorney, and I truly don't know whether to feel happy about that. And that's sad because when you've worked for something that has been quite challenging, it really makes you feel a certain way. And I am hoping that one day I am able to get to a place where I am enjoying my profession. Now, the type of practice I will never enjoy, but I know that it is doing some good. I just feel a little bit stuck because I am on the newer end. And while I have lots of support, lots of guidance, I think, I feel like I'm somehow messing it up. And you know what? That I think that's okay if you mess up. That's human. That's a human thing to do. You can't, or maybe you can. I don't know. You can't go around life not messing things up. The thing is, for some people, it appears that it is a much easier time or a much easier experience. And that might be because a lot of these people have worked in the field for so long. And there are a couple of people who are on the newer end, but certainly have more experience than I do. And in doing trials, in doing cross examinations, and writing motions or writing answers to motions or whatever it is, it will always be different. And I will always feel this way. But I think that as time passes, and this will apply to everybody, as time passes, things will get better. We will all feel more comfortable. And I'm sure that I've bored everybody listening to this. If you've even made it this far, I've bored you out. But anyway, I thought that I would talk about my experience, and I am not quite done yet, but I wanted to have a short episode today to get started, and hopefully we can have some more discussions. Who knows? I would be very happy to meet other people in their professions and the challenges that you guys have faced. I am facing a lot of challenges. I think so, more related to, of course, the legal profession, the litigation part of it, where I am expected to think on my feet, answer questions, but it's not as simple as that because I don't know the entirety of the law out there. I am in a very anxious person, and it is difficult. It really is difficult. I don't know how people do it. It might be the experience that they've had so far, or maybe they are just so smart. I don't know. But as I said before, I don't consider myself to be a smart person. And I think that's okay. I feel like you move at your own pace, at your own level. But, here we are. We're still trying, and that's all we can do. I hope that people see that we're trying. And I have a lot more to say, and hopefully it resonates with people. I hope this episode resonates with people. And I hope that you guys stuck around to the ending of this voice podcast, audio podcast, whatever you want to call it. By the way, I do not have social media, so I don't have like a like a page for this podcast or whatever. But anyway, I hope I didn't bore anybody out. But leave your questions or comments and other topics that you'd like for me to talk about. I would be very happy to see if anybody writes anything in the comment section. Anyway, this is Gigi Talks. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.